Good morning and welcome to Healing Life Fellowship Church. I'm Reverend Joe Rutledge, and we're glad to have you with us today. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about being disconnected in a very connected world, in a world where we interact with people every day. Sometimes you just don't feel connected. What do I mean by disconnected? Well, when you might feel a little bit lost, you might feel a little bit lonely. It just seems harder to have that connection the more we have something to connect to. And I think that is because at our basic level, we want to connect with our heart and our voice and not necessarily with our phones and our computers. It's just not the same. We're also encountering a time of year where it's fall. It's the fall season, and everybody is susceptible in the non-Sun Belt states to SAD, seasonal depression disorder. I mean, we turn the clock forward, but an hour doesn't buy us enough time. So right now, things just seem to be intensifying, and I think we're all seeking that connection. I know they are with me, but I'm just here to remind you, God's with you, and God's with me, and God's inside of us all the time, helping us to realize, step one, we're disconnected, and step two, when you realize it, what can you do about it? So you ask yourself, why am I feeling disconnected? We don't always know the reason. We just know we are. But somehow when you come back and you come to a place where there's like-minded people and you have common conversations and everybody's getting excited about something similar, like spiritualists, being spiritual. You know that you're in the right place because your mind changes, things connect, and for that moment, that hour that you get to be together, you're connected. But why? Why am I feeling so drained all the time? Well, when you're not on purpose and you're not doing the things that you hope to do, or that your heart knows you should do, you just get that missing feeling. So are you living on purpose every day? I'm telling you, I don't think we all do, because it takes a lot of energy. Even doctors, they're going through the motions, but some of them, where it's passionate, they get through the day fast and they don't know where it went. But sometimes you're just tired and you can't get in that mindset of, did I connect with the people I needed to help today? But also, what about our well-being? Our well-being sometimes disconnects us as well. So even though we're feeling disconnected, we just don't feel well. And that could be a number of things. It's the nourishment that we need, the nourishment that is important to us, the nourishment of conversation, the nourishment of food, the nourishment of positive thoughts, the nourishment of positive energy, the nourishment of positive songs that connect with you, the nourishment of talking to a friend or loved one, and the nourishment of sleep. Sometimes we don't give ourselves that basic one, right? So I'm here to remind you, as I was reminded in my meditation, take time to listen to God during your meditation or when you have just a moment in your car. And whatever you get, don't forget to act on it. I asked God, what should I talk about today? And in my meditation, he said, you're asking me this again? And I shared what you need to do to help yourself before. Are you going to listen? So, I'm as guilty as everybody else. I'm being told what to do. I hear it. I meditate on it. But you need those reminders. And if you don't listen to what you get in meditation, or you don't listen to your body, what happens? The God inside takes you down. What does being taken down mean? It can mean a lot of things. It means that you're manifesting what's not healthy for you. And here's the deal. If you're not talking to God and you're so busy doing things, being taken down can mean getting a cold. It could mean now you tripped over that rock, you twisted your knee, and you got to have surgery because you tore a ligament. It could mean that You got in a car accident, and now all of a sudden you got to go to the chiropractor. You can't drive to work, so you got to stay home. But something happens that makes you have to realize, oh my gosh, I'm human. I've been so busy, now I got time to sit at home. And what do you do when you get to that point? Father God, help me heal. And God's like, I got your attention. Seems basic, but that's what's happening. Because we're all spiritual beings. We all have God inside of us. And we're not taking care of ourselves. What are we being told? If you aren't going to listen, I'm going to help you listen. And do we practice that preventative medicine that starts with decisions that nourish our soul? Do we feed ourselves good food? If we aren't eating the right foods, are we at least taking vitamins? If, in the fall with SAD, we don't get the sunlight. So are you taking the vitamin D to complement that? That helps you. It affects your moods. It affects a lot of things. Are you willing to do a blood test to figure out what you need? Sometimes we don't always have that luxury, but if you have that luxury and your insurance covers it, it's worth finding out what you're deficient on or what you might be allergic to, because that's attacking you. And let's face it, in the fall when we don't get the sun, there's just something about, even if you're waking up early in the morning and seeing the beautiful sunrise. I love driving east on 120 and I can see the sunrise coming over the lake. It's energizing, and you don't get that when it's dark. So we generate these illnesses in our body. Our body slows down. Our body's saying, hey, wake up. So choose to care about yourself spiritually, emotionally, physically. And when you feed yourself those negative thoughts, you can feel it. You can feel your energy drop, or if it's not you, it's a friend, you can feel your energy drop because they're stealing it from you, right? It's affecting your cells in your body. They're remembering that. It's not just affecting you in the moment. Your body has memory and will remember some of those negative things until you have worked on yourself a lot to let it go. So I mentioned when you're down, you're more likely to talk to God, right? It just seems like, well, I have the time now because I got forced to have the time. And that's when you start talking to God. So let's not wait till we're sick. Let's not wait till we're injured to speak to the God inside of us. Because God inside of us is working on us and talking to us every day. The body can heal from many illnesses on its own if you give it the right nutrients, if you're positive. And there's books from the medical medium, Caroline Mace. A lot of people are talking about how your thoughts can develop illnesses. So keep your thoughts right. Keep around the right people. Today is just a reminder that, yes, God's in control, but you're also in control too with your thoughts, with your heart, and with feeling that connection or striving to get to being connected. Because if you don't try and push yourself that way, you will be disconnected. And disconnection will go down a tunnel you don't want to go down, with depression, with depletion of energy, with thoughts that just are kind of crazy, and you just don't need to go down those paths because you start thinking people you love don't love you, and it's difficult, and it's not the truth. But that's what it can lead to. Sometimes I feel like, I'm going through my job each day, but, recently because of having to meditate again, I had to realize some things. You got to make a game sometimes with your job, and you got to say, just remind yourself, hey, I'm here to help people. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing tasks. I'm helping people. These are people just like me who actually need my help. And even if they think they don't need my help, they might need it later. And that's true whether you're in sales. That's true whether you're a homemaker and have to worry about the home cooking. It's true if you're a nurse. It's true no matter what you do. So keep that in mind. Because you can get overwhelmed if you don't remember. You're just here to serve people. You aren't here to worry about how people take it. That's their own energy. You can only do your part to be positive and help and contribute to somebody's day. And chances are, they might not be connected if you're not getting positive feedback. So have compassion for them. Try to give them that energy. We may not realize it, but we're working on our own self all the time from within. And the more positive we can be, I sound like a broken record, but the better your health will be. Go to the God source within, call on it. Give God a chance to help you heal yourself. Because if we don't make that time, God will make it for us. So are you healing your body? Are you healing your mind? Are you healing your soul? Because you have a chance to do it. If you got a lot of things that you're feeling negative about, it's important for you to do one thing for yourself. Take care of the one thing that you can't let go in your mind first. Because if you can't let go of that one, it's going to poison you to help yourself for the rest. Don't let it go. Don't let it fester. If you need to, go get help. There's lots of professionals out there who are capable of bringing you to the right place. You can talk to us here. We'll do what we can. And we'll make recommendations if we know somebody. But bottom line is, you don't have to stay in that. You don't have to be alone. And most of us stay alone when we don't need to. Bear with me now. I was thinking about what I was going to talk about. I was thinking about how can I connect this in a different way. And so I was doing some fall cleanup, and we were cleaning up the garden. And while I was looking at the garden, I contemplated and I saw two areas where we grow vegetables, specifically zucchini. Okay? Two different areas, same soil, same sun, or same nutrients in the soil, same watering. Everything's the same. At least I thought. So while cleaning up the garden, time passes, right? And as time passed, I realized, okay, everything's the same, but a shadow casts on this part of the garden, and it doesn't on this, on the other part. Now think about the shadows or negativity that get cast in our lives. As the shadow impacted the garden and its health, so do the shadows or the negative people in our lives affect how we live our lives and what we think at the moment. And it's up to ourselves inside how fast we can shake that. But it took me cleaning the garden to really come across, how can I say it in a way that people might remember? Remember the zucchini story. The shadow. So the zucchinis that were in the sun flourished more. I didn't know why. And then I read each plant, actually each family of zucchinis has different characteristics. Some want the sun more, some do not. So, it was an interesting way to learn about it, but the bottom line is, think about those shadows. That shadow impacted not only the fruit, but those shadows in life are impacting us. Same soil, same climate, same weather, but different. Unlike that plant, though, we can move out of the shadow. We're not rooted where we can't do anything about it. We can walk out of the shadow. We can make choices. We have free will. And that's what makes us different. And that's what gives us the special ability to listen to the God inside and help ourselves and help others. Do you have friends who don't understand why you're coming to a spiritual church? Do you have friends who don't understand why you take classes? It's okay. But guess what? Invite them so they can understand. And then let them make a call. Otherwise, They could be blocking you or holding you back from your spiritual growth, from the growth you need in that part that helps you to feel depleted, not appreciated. Be courageous and say, hey, let's go together. But don't let them deter your pursuit. That's your chance to connect with God and connect with the universe, so that you can learn and remember what that love and peace inside feels like, and you can capture it when you need it. What could you become if you stepped outside the shadows that are on your life? What could you do? Who is the shadow in your life? Do you need to get away from them or just give them less of your time in that day? You can move into another room if it's your son, daughter, spouse, mom, dad. You can move yourself, even if it's temporarily, or if it's a friend, you can permanently move them and say, maybe that friendship got me where I needed to go, but it doesn't serve me anymore. It's just sad, but a real truth that some people go through. But you always get answers when you least expect them. And if you meditate more, that's when God talks to you. You'll get more answers that way. And that's part of why, we do a meditation here in church, so that you can get some answers to some of the questions you have. Keep in mind, God's answers aren't always the ones we want. It's God's will, not our will. Our soul made a contract to come do certain things. God knows that. But our physical human body doesn't know that. But also, think about miracles, right? Some people ask for miracles, but here's the thing. If the person who needs the miracle isn't asking for the miracle, all the praying in the world that your family does isn't going to help that person, because they're not believing that miracle can happen to themselves. And it's important that you have faith like that. The faith of a mustard seed will make miracles happen in your life. It'll bring you and your compass back to where it needs to be. So we have choices and we have actions to take once we're given information. So I hope that you can step outside of your shadows. It's my hope also that not only will you step outside your shadows, but you'll find that happier place. Because what could you become if you stepped outside those shadows? How blessed could you be? Are you willing to step out and see how blessed you can be? How much further could you go if you felt joy or more joy in each day versus what you have right now? The God inside is working to connect. God will help you get through this. We will become what our soul intends to become when we remove ourselves from the shadows and the obstacles that we face. They don't have to block us, and we will blossom, and we will have the God force inside helping us make better decisions. But only you can do that. Only you can create your miracles through faith. Your soul chose to be in this moment right now to hear this talk. Why? We may never know. Maybe you're going to talk to somebody, maybe it connects with you. Maybe it's just because you need to be there to be encouragement for me. But what I do know is God really wants us to be successful. Personally, professionally, and spiritually. And what doesn't kill us will make us stronger. Thank you.